Hi guys, it's Chloe and welcome back to my channel. But today I'm going to be talking about PTSD nightmares, and I am going to recall some of my PTSD nightmares that I recently had. And I am going to jump into this video, and on that note, we're going to get started. So, what is a PTSD nightmare? So, basically, a PTSD nightmare is basically when you have a flashback while you're sleeping about the specific event or the underlying cause of what triggers your PTSD shows up in a nightmare and triggers you. So, for instance, for me, I'm afraid of doctors, and doctors and hospitals is my trigger. And therefore, that underlying cause has shown up in my nightmares and given me PTSD nightmares. Now, how often you get them is widely dependent on every single person. I don't get them as often, probably because I'm on medication, but again, it just varies person by person. Now, how often you get the nightmares varies person by person, and there could be factors that contribute to it. For instance, if you take medication like I do, then you may be at a less increased risk of having the nightmares because the medication will help with that. Or let's say, for instance, you're talking with a friend about something that triggers you before you drift off to sleep, then yeah, that's gonna give you a PTSD nightmare for sure. So now I'm gonna get into the actual nightmares that I had. So for this one, and I feel like with all of them, I have to give a little bit of background info. So keep in mind my triggers is anything medical related. Basically, my local children's hospital, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, only has pediatric clinic, like spina bifida clinic. They do not have an adult one here in the state of Georgia, regardless if it's through CHOA or not. And I had a dream, because I am an adult advisory board member for the Spina Bifida Association's Georgia, Tennessee chapter as well. And I'm on the Walk and Roll Planning Committee. And I do a bunch of advocacy work. And I had a dream that I was trying to take care of my individuals with spina bifida, by providing housing and all this other stuff. And then I had lived in it was the first house that I ever moved to, because my fam lived in an apartment when I was born, and then we moved to a house right next to my neighborhood where our grocery store was, because there was a grocery store within walking distance. Their Children's Healthcare of Atlanta was building a hospital, but the hospital did not include an adult spina bifida clinic. The reason why I had this nightmare, like the things that pop out to me, there are no adult clinics in the state of Georgia, like I had mentioned. There aren't a lot of clinics in the US for adults in general, and therefore a lot of individuals with spina bifida can't get the care they need, and therefore they've been dying. And then, Children's Healthcare Atlanta just built the new Arthur and Blank Hospital, and there's no adult spina bifida clinic to be seen. So, that's why I had the nightmare, and those are like the things that pop out to me. Other one, so for me this was more recent, but by the time this video comes out, it may have been like a week ago that this had happened. But I should also mention with PTSD nightmares, it's while you're sleeping. So while you're taking a nap, they can happen too. And that's exactly what happened to me. But basically, I had taken my nap and I had a dream. For context, just background info. So at the time that this comes out, I have gotten a consultation done for sleep apnea, and I have yet to be tested for it, just as an FYI. And that's kind of what the whole premises of this was about. I walked into my mom's room, and how her room is set up is she has a bedroom, and then there's double doors that swing open to her bathroom, and then there's a single door that opens up to her walk-in closet that is big enough to make an extra bedroom in. And I went in there and I was talking to my mama, and my mom said, by the way, your uncle, we'll call him Uncle J, and your Aunt R, have sleep apnea, which, for context, they didn't have sleep apnea. And my Uncle Jay is dead. And because of that, you need to get looked at. And I'm like, okay. And I walk out of the walk-in closet and I notice that there is and I'm not trying to be racist, there's a reason why this popped up. But there was a black woman. She had a small afro. Like, her hair, I don't think, was even an inch long. And it was curly. It was blonde, but not like a bright platinum. It was more like my color blonde. And she was sitting on the edge of my mom's bathtub, fully clothed, and said that my sleep apnea was so severe that they had to call an ambulance. And the ambulance was coming after me to take me to the hospital to get me looked at. And I just started screaming and crying. Change of plans, it's not as bad as we thought. However, the ambulance may still show up, even though I told them not to come. And I'm going to leave you, but basically, if they do show up, just tell them the whole situation and that you don't need to go. And I'm like, okay. And then I just started screaming and crying out for my mom to help me with this, but she wasn't around. She had mysteriously disappeared too. Then I literally woke up from my dream, IRL, and I tried to go back to sleep to figure out if the ambulance was ever going to show up and if I had to tell them off, but it never happened. So that's a classic example of PTSD nightmare right there. Do you ever experience PTSD nightmares? Or do you want me to make a video as to how I cope with them? If so, leave something in the comments and I'd be more than willing to do a video or hear about your experiences, because we're all here for one another. And I will say, if someone dropped something in the comments and stop, I will say, if someone yeets something in the comments, please don't make fun of it. This is going to be a judgment-free zone where we all feel safe and accepted. But that's it. I thank you guys so much for watching this video and can't wait to see you guys again soon. Bye.